Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. Imagine running 22 marathons in just 22 days. That is about 26 miles each day for a total of 576 miles. Our next guest surpassed his own goal, reaching over 582 miles just in time for Veterans Day on November 11th. He's running to raise awareness and funds for the Mighty Oaks Foundation, which serves veterans like himself and first responders. You can donate toward his $100,000 goal at mightyoaksrun.com and find the 22 for 22 challenge. Joining us now to discuss is the man himself, Marine Corps veteran of the Iraq War, Jeremy Stalnecker, the CEO of the Mighty Oaks Foundation and host of the Situation Report. Jeremy, thanks for being back tonight.
Kara, it's great to be with you. Thank you.
So when your booker, our mutual friend, first contacted me about this incredible challenge you were undertaking in the lead up to Veterans Day, I honestly had to keep rereading the email because I thought, there's no way I'm reading this correctly. There's a typo or I'm not thinking this through. So 22 marathons in 22 days. I'm sure you've been asked a gazillion times and you're probably sick of hearing it, but how did you do it?
So they say that everything's a good idea 6 months ago, and it was a really good idea 6 months ago, and then it happened. Really, it came down to doing it 1 day at a time and 1 mile at a time. I do a lot of running, obviously, and as we came to Veterans Day, that number 22 is synonymous with veteran suicide, an issue that we're all very passionate about and care deeply about. And I was trying to think through, how can I get enough attention to be able to talk about this, and not only talk about the problem, but talk about the solutions. And solutions certainly exist. We've been doing work to address this and really confront it for 12 years at the Mighty Oaks Foundation. So what can I do? And the idea came to me. I can run a marathon a day, 22 days. It's not that long. It's just a few hours a day. It was about 5 or 6 hours a day. It turned out to be an awful lot, but we got it done.
I just couldn't imagine, because I feel like in the beginning, maybe there's the adrenaline, the energy going.
Yeah.
And like you said, you have such a great cause behind it. But I'm sure by the middle, there's that slog of, okay, it's only day 10, only 11, only 12. And you're so far from the beginning, but you're still that same distance from the end. How did you push yourself through even those moments?
Yeah, man, there's so much you learn about yourself. And you say the middle. I appreciate you saying that. It was like day 2. I was like, what in the world am I doing? I don't know if I can do it. It's so many things, and you have to process that every single day. You've made the decision. I'm going to get up tomorrow. I'm going to do the miles. I'm going to get out there. But you have those days, certainly. I traveled the whole time. I was gone for basically 3 weeks. So I was in different places. I was in Virginia for about a week, and it got cold. 27 degrees one morning, and I woke up. It was dark. It's cold outside. You feel alone, and you think, why am I doing this? And you think about the reasons you're doing it. But then I think beyond that, I thought about the people that are watching, and so many people commenting on social media and sending texts and emails, and my kids, and just so many people that are really counting on you and finding motivation and strength in it. And honestly, that got me up a lot of days to just get up and get out the door and keep going.
And of course, we're going to talk more about the veteran side of this, because of course that's the whole reason this is all that it's done for. But still, the curious part of me still has to ask on the how, because I was talking to, because once again I got the pitch, and then today was coming up. I was asking, for example, my fiance. So I'm not sure if you've heard. So I did get engaged recently.
I did hear that. Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you. And so he's in law enforcement, and he was a big runner. He's a D1 track athlete, so he knows all the ins and outs of running. When I told him, he's like, "Wow." He's like, "I've heard about that somewhere," but he's like, wow, he was shocked. He was impressed. And the one question that he had, so I have to ask you about this, is he says when he was training, when he was doing track and field, that those who would do marathons, that they would, train up for it, they'd run the marathon, then they'd basically ice their legs, and then they'd spend, the next 2 or so weeks just kind of taking it really easy to make sure that their bodies would stay in good shape so they could, keep working out later on. So, but if you did that every single day without a whole lot of recovery in between, how are your legs feeling, I guess, is the question.
Yeah, well, it's nice. So I haven't run in 2 days, which is really nice. So I'm on the other side of that, and it'll take me a few weeks to, I think, get back to where I maybe start running a little bit. But yeah, there were some things. I started working a little bit with an endurance coach. She coaches ultra athletes, and on the multi-stage thing, her advice was really simple. You don't have a lot of time to recover, so get as many calories in as you can every day, and rest as much as you can. That meant elevating my legs and, using some ice and doing those things.